Welcome to FX Currency in Play. I'm joined by leading trader analyst Ryan Littlestone. Very good morning to you, Ryan.
Good morning.
A couple of months ago, we were in Strasbourg and you predicted the markets. The trend is your friend, don't buck the trend. Fantastic call, well done. Let's look at some headlines this morning. Top trends, cable advances to 132.60 post UK CPI. Euro US dollar struggles for direction near 119.50. King John sanctioned by United Nations. Which one do you want to talk about?
You go through all three, but yeah, we've had a strong reading from CPI this morning, and that's obviously sent the pound higher. I think it touched 132.80, something like that. You know, the market's going to be looking at the Bank of England on Thursday. You know, to see if there's any more signals. You know, they've said they've got their tolerance levels supposedly. You've had even doves like Andy Haldane turning around and saying that he's looking at hikes himself. So it's going to ramp up the rhetoric for Thursday, and it's going to push
numbers in today 2.9%, which
2.9%. The core number up as well. You know, very strong, up near almost above their expected levels. You know, they expect it to peak at 2.8%, that sort of area. So we're up above their peak, and obviously above the 2% magic line where he's got to write a letter to the Chancellor every month.
I'd like to see that letter. In terms of euro US dollar. Directionless around this 120. Has this got the legs in it for one more leg up, 123, 125?
Yeah, I think so. I don't forget that high, but it's possible. You know, we had the ECB last week and everyone was looking for clues, but the market's pretty much expected him to punt, and he has punted into October. Yeah. So we had a little pop in there through into 120, but we couldn't hold it. But what we're seeing, we're not seeing really any moves on the euro side now. It immediately sort of switched to what's happening in the States and the US. So most of this drop back has been on what's happening in the US, but it's not, it's not tumbling too far. You know, if we break sort of 117, then you've got to think that there's steeper falls to come. But while we remain above that 117, 118 level, then it's still waiting for the ECB to let us know what's going on.
In terms of Korea, no tests this weekend. Fantastic. S&P closed at record highs last night. Extraordinary.
Yeah, we've got a stock market that's decided by what happens in North Korea. It's amazing, but. He's been sanctioned now, and the other day was promising fire and brimstone for the US if they did sanction him. So let's see what happens. But I doubt we can monitor him by what happens on the calendar. He'll push a button whenever he wants to push a button.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move on then to a daily candlestick chart of the Great British Pound against the US dollar. Just key area of resistance around here.
Yeah, right at that top, that 60-80 level. We did nudge another high, but we're back down below that that high in sort of late August, sorry. And that's going to be a signal for a potential top. Unless we push the highs between now and the Bank of England, then you could find yourself having a decent top there. And if the Bank of England aren't hawkish at all, they try and dumb down these numbers, then we're going to head back down through 132, 131.
Very, very difficult contract to trade from watching it. Right, let's move on to the euro against the Great British Pound. And we've got that horrible doji at that high price area, and then you've got this pullback. Lots of headlines, parity before Christmas, the big banks suggesting that basically euro strength continue. What's your take on this?
It's been a very difficult currency. It's the Brexit trade. It's the pure Brexit trade, euro against UK, and it's been on a hell of a run. All the way up from 80s, 70s, 80s, touching 93s. But again, we're hitting a top there. There's been some good news out last week in Brexit. The Brexit paper or the EU papers on Brexit, some recommendations, and they were pretty soft on the Irish border. So the market's taking that as a view that maybe we're not going to get such a hard line from Europe, and that's added to the pound's gains as well.
Which way would you be in this currently?
I think you'd be long, but you look for a nice dip and potentially get one. Get around that 89 level, 80, then that's where I'd look to get in long and see if we get another run higher.
Understood. Let's wrap up today with the economic calendar. Very dull.
Yeah, not a busy one today. We've had all the action this morning. 10-year note auction, there's always eyes on the 10 years, especially with yields down, edging down that 2% mark. So we're going to see how that comes in. The crude auction, oil's been suffering, it ramped up ahead of the hurricanes, but now it dipped off. So we'll see what happens there. And obviously what happens in Australia, consumer confidence big for the RBA. So we'll see what way they're going to swing on that one.
Okay, to wrap up, what's your favourite pair at the moment?
Favourite pair still would be euro dollar.
On the ball.
Yeah, on the ball. Watching that ECB, just counting down the clock until October, see what they bring then. But I think December is going to be the big month. That's when we'll see what happens.
Right, Let's Stone, trader, analyst, thank you very much indeed for your time.